Alright guys, so I've been reluctant to do this video, but it's already been 2 days since EVGA has cut ties entirely with Nvidia, meaning there will not be an RTX 4000 series graphics card lineup coming from EVGA, excuse me. And that's not news. If you're getting it from me first, you're probably running Internet Explorer. But I just wanted to make this quick video just to kind of give you my take on the situation. I've worked with EVGA, or not worked with them. I mean, I have in an extent to a certain capacity as far as XOC goes and testing out some stuff for them. But I've been a consumer of theirs, like many of you out there. Used to be a gamer, now I'm an XOCer. I started with, my first EVGA card was an FX 5200, for those of you who remember those things. So it wasn't a very good card, not because EVGA designed it poorly, it was just a very low-end graphics card, and that's all I could afford at the time. I was a teenager, what do you expect? But ultimately I was able to make some money and got myself a 8800 Ultra. I still own several of those. And I've just stuck with EVGA ever since, not just because of brand loyalty, but I mean, to an extent, yeah. But it was truly their customer service and being able to just work with them on any issues you had, or even them listening to, you know, any of your issues and quarrels that you may have with any given product in terms of firmware, and just they're very open to hearing suggestions on how to improve their products, and that's why I really got an XOC in the first place, to be honest. But as a company, EVGA has never let me down. I've had multiple RMAs, one of which was very questionable recently, for those of you who are aware of my Z690 Dark Kingpin, but it's been filled. And it will be here this coming Wednesday. I can't wait to get her back. Actually, I believe they're sending me a brand new board altogether, which is absolutely awesome. And this is a big reason I stick with EVGA. But in regards to EVGA and Nvidia, yeah, the graphics department, done for now. I want to point this out because I've seen the videos from Gamers Nexus and Steve, and of course Jesus Sens. And the CEO of EVGA was very, very specific with his wording, and he said they will not be working with Nvidia on the RTX 4000 series. They cancel it altogether. Yes, they do have prototypes, and this is just really sad news that all this R&D, all this electrical engineering, the PCB designs for some of these cards, particularly the new Kingpin card, was already on its way, and it's just done and over with, and they'll never see the light of day. But EVGA as a company will still survive. Guys, don't get me wrong. I thought I saw something. Sorry guys, it's roughly 2:15 in the morning. I am tired. But, I mean, in terms of the fallout, this is not just applicable to EVGA. EVGA is just kind of taking a stand at this point with Nvidia. And yes, they're both businesses, one being a publicly traded business, the other one being a privately owned business. But there are other businesses out there that are publicly traded, and they're hurting just as much as EVGA, but they're much larger than EVGA. EVGA is a small company by comparison. Technically, they're a medium-sized business here in the US, and they have roughly 280 employees worldwide, and that's covering all sectors of the company. But the real issue lies in Nvidia's business practices. And this has been something that's been, we all kind of had some foresight into it as the prices increased over the years. Nvidia's profit margins increased, and this was really telling in the Pascal era. the GTX 1000 series. I almost said 10,000. When they started creating the reference, well, not reference, but founders cards, sorry, they coined them founders cards for a reason. They started competing with their own board partners, which made absolutely no sense. I mean, it does from a business perspective, but then why have board partners at all? Nvidia, on their end, they manufacture the GPUs. Granted, yes, they invest billions of dollars in R&D. I mean, just recently, they're investing billions and billions of dollars into the research and development of these cutting-edge GPUs that we see in our graphics cards today. But they are the supplier of those very GPUs. And they have to, the AIBs, they need to purchase the GPUs in advance to create their cards, not knowing what the actual retail price, the MSRP is of the Founders Edition that they're now competing with. And this has been a trend now for 6-7 years, and it's only getting worse because Nvidia is undercutting their own partners. And it got so bad, I have a chart here from John Petty Research. Great article, but it really breaks it down. Back in 2000, and granted this is 22 years ago, the AIB partners, and this is an aggregate number of all AIBs, their gross profit margins were right around 25% per card, while Nvidia stood at right around 38%. Today, Nvidia sits around 65% of gross profit margins per card sold, while the AIBs sit around 5%. And that was when things were going well in terms of, I mean, business-wise. Prices were higher, but at least there was a return on investment. Today, they're actually taking a loss on every card sold. Now that the crypto mining bubble is done, or not bubble, but crypto mining is just done as far as Ethereum goes. It moved on from proof of work. EVGA had to cut down their prices to compete with Nvidia's price cuts on their top tier cards. So EVGA is actually at a loss entirely when it comes to selling each video card or graphics card, which is just astounding to me that people don't realize, like, this is actually a business decision from a board partner that is being mistreated like every other board partner. But the other board partners are nowhere near as small as EVGA is. And they have 23 years in the industry. And that just boggles my mind. But yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, I could talk about controversial stuff like, well, not really controversial. It's already been laid out there. EVGA has already promised to withhold stockpiles of their current generation cards, the RTX 3000 series cards, just for RMA purposes. So they're ensuring that customers of current generation cards will have their warranties honored throughout the warranty period. The step-up program's dead, unfortunately, because there's no more EVGA graphics cards, at least for now. Guys, it's really sad, but yeah, I've never been an Nvidia fanboy. I've always been an EVGA fanboy, and I will stand by that. And then I'll just address a few things also. Social media. A lot of talks on social media, especially over the last couple of days, about, I've seen so many comments about how EVGA is just kind of being sour because they bought into the crypto mining boom and they overproduced and overmanufactured their cards, and now they're at a loss, and they were trying to inflate their prices essentially scalping the consumer. No, they never did that. They were the only company to implement a queue system, which was first come, first serve, and still sell the cards at MSRP at the time. No other company did that. Third-party resellers, that's a different story. But it was never EVGA directly. So yeah, don't go around saying that stuff, guys, because it's simply not true. EVGA is just, they're a monster of a company. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, they are just beasts at what they do. Customer service has always been top-notch. Product quality, engineering, I mean, you name it, they've got it. They've got the formula down right. So good for them for sticking it to Nvidia. Nvidia needs to be put in their place. How this is going to affect Nvidia's market, considering EVGA had roughly 40% of the market share in North America alone. And that's not counting whatever market share, I don't know the number, of Western Europe, which would be the predominant sales market for EVGA cards or any graphics cards, quite frankly, just due to economic reasons. It's really going to come down to mind share. And people like myself and many others have stuck with EVGA for so long due to their business practices. And it sucks to see them bow out at the moment, but personally, I don't see them going away, guys. They're just taking a breather and allowing Nvidia to kind of sleep on it and let it sink in. We'll see how it affects them. Financially, they're still going to make billions of dollars. Nvidia is a multi-billion-dollar company. And yeah, it's not going to hurt them financially, but it will hurt their reputation. But having said that, guys, I'm sorry. I wish I was a little more thorough, but I'm so tired. Before I wrap up this video, I just want to thank a few people. Of course, Vince Lucido, Kingpin. Love you, man. You've always had my back. And of course, Jacob Freeman, thank you for all of your support and your help over the years. And the entire staff at EVGA, all 280 employees or so. Thank you for just being committed to providing outstanding customer satisfaction in an industry that truly lacks it, especially when you compare them to other companies. And I'm not going to name companies, guys, but you pick and choose the company. Now, if I'm going to give my unbiased opinion as far as where EVGA will be in the next several years, I don't doubt that they will be going back into the graphics market. It's just a matter of how Nvidia moves forward and how they're going to treat their AIBs, because at this point they're draining AIBs. There's no profit margin. It may make up 80% of their profits, but roughly 80%. I believe the number is closer to 78. But it's still, when you're talking 5% or less, and at this point, once again, below, they're actually losing money on each unit sold. I do have a feeling they'll come back, and this is just this is them putting Nvidia in their place, in a sense. And more power to them. I'll still support EVGA. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be buying an RTX 4000 series because I refuse to buy anything other than EVGA, particularly the Kingpin cards. So, I mean, it's a sad day for a lot of gamers as well who support EVGA. I know a lot of you guys have been showing off your builds and your stories in regards to, awesome customer service. And yeah, guys, I've been a gamer my entire life and an exoseer for the last half-plus decade. And yeah, it's the end of an era, as I stated on social media couple days ago when the news first broke. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and hopefully things will turn around for the better. And I mean that towards Nvidia. EVGA will be just fine, guys. All right, take care. I'm going to sleep. Peace.